Sabater, the great Bonzini player, Ryan Moore, the tremendous Tornado player, and we are opening things up on the Tornado table. As we are now underway, Ryan Moore putting the ball into play, passing it through, setting it up, looking for point number one of game number one of France versus the USA. Ryan Moore from pull shot position, tried to go to the inside, blocked by Sabater, and Ryan gets it back. Ryan, the 19-year-old out of Lexington, Kentucky, in the United States, strokes home that pull shot. It's 1-0. Sabater coming right back. We'll see what kind of skill Sebastian Sabater has on the Tornado table. I've never seen him play on this table. But he wouldn't be leading off if he didn't have some kind of skills. And he fires it to the far side. It's 1-1. Ryan Moore rolling pull shot, blocked away, and squirts back to Ryan in the goal area. Ryan, an excellent shooter from the 2-row, the goalie rod. Just getting things underway at USA versus France in the year 2009. See Sabater using the left hand on the 2-row. And Ryan Moore now possession on the 5, the passing rod. Hard along that inner wall. Ryan Moore from pull shot position. Finds that hole. It's now 2-1. Sebastian Sabater trailing 2-1. The idea generally in this sort of format is to hold serve, in other words, to win all the games on your table, and then try to steal a game or possibly just a point later down the road. But it's key that you win on your table. And it's now 2-2 as Sabater gets on the scoreboard with another shot. Tony Sprademan and Adel Yousfi have started as well, and we'll try to keep you up to date on what's happening there. Tony Sprademan leading early 1-0 in the opening game. Ryan Moore coming back with a pull shot. Everett blocked and retrieved by Sabater. It's key for Ryan Moore, if you're looking at it from an American perspective, to win on this table. Otherwise, he would go over to the Bonzini table with a chance to lose the match. So again, you must win on your table. Sabater, anything he gets here is a bonus. Ryan Moore from pull shot position. And he strokes that pull shot home. It's 3-2. Coach Bruce Nardocci wandering in the background, watching both these matches. Bruce, of course, a great Bonzini player as well. Tony Sprademan right now over in the other part of the finals area. And we have a stoppage here. And apparently an illegal advance is what Ryan Moore is saying. Ryan Moore questioning the advance. Talking with referee Boris Atha. Tony Sprademan continuing to play well at the other end, and it's now 3-2 in favor of Tony on the tornado table. And we're going to see what referee Boris Atha decides.
It was accidental, but he did it.
Okay, so the call has been made. The ball has been awarded to Ryan Moore on the 5 row. Everyone seems happy with the decision as Ryan Moore puts it into play. He leads 3-2 here in this first game of the first round of this opening set in singles. And Ryan Moore now will set it up in pull shot position. And Ryan Moore has become a pull shooter. This is predominantly, in fact, entirely the only shot he uses these days. Try to go to the straight hole. Sabater there to make the block. And Sebastian grabs the rebound. He's going to use the left hand on the 2 row and probably looking more to shoot than to pass here. We'll see. Tries to go down the middle of the shot attempt. Blocked back into the goal by Ryan Moore. He leads 4-2. So right now it's Ryan Moore versus Sebastian Sabater over here on the near side of the arena on table 1. And over on table 3, another tornado table, it's Sprademan and Yusfi. Sabater now looking to pull back within 1. Shot attempt, whiffs on that effort, stab forward, and grab with the left hand by Ryan Moore. Ryan sets it up, fires it down the middle, blocked by Sabater, and he grabs it on his 3 row. Sebastian Sabater. Shot to the near side, blocked away and taken away by Ryan Moore. Of course, they have changed the format a little bit since the 2006 event in Hamburg, Germany. Those games were played to 7. To expedite matters just a little bit, they're going with games to 5. Still is 2 out of 3 in each set. We are in the opening set here. And Sabater shot attempt. Ryan Moore there with a block, and eventually Ryan able to grab the rebound in his goal area. Such a good shooter back here. Rattles one down the table, moves into the forward position after grabbing the rebound on his 5. Ryan Moore now looks for a first game win and gets it. Ryan Moore strokes home that pull shot on the tornado table, then sprints over to the Bonzini table. They gotta love that. And Tony Sprademan has won game 1 on the tornado table, so the 2 Americans hold serve. Each of them has won their opening game on the tornado table, and both of these opening sets will now move to Bonzini. We're going to focus in on the Ryan Moore versus Sebastian Sabater opening set. It'll be Sabater on the left. It'll be Ryan Moore on the right as we get this second one underway. Sabater with the first scoring opportunity. We're back on his table. So let's see what Ryan Moore has on the Bonzini table. Shot attempt taken away by Ryan. Ryan has become a pretty proficient player on all the different tables. He's actually quite good on Bonzini. Of course, he's going up against the French, who are absolutely superb on the Bonzini table. Ryan will utilize an American style on the Bonzini table. No score here in game 2, the opening set. Ryan fires that one on goal. Nice shot. Rebound comes back to him. You can see Ryan plays with great confidence. Banks that one off the inside wall. Jumps into the forward position. Couldn't grab it. Quick clearing effort by Sabater. Ends up on the shooting rod of Ryan Moore. Ryan will shoot the full shot. Tried to go down the middle. Blocked away and retrieved by Sabater. Ryan Moore again. Comes back with a rolling pull shot. It's 1-0. And Ryan looking good on this table. Ryan will utilize that pull shot. And a pull shot is very effective on the Bonzini table. The men's feet are not very big. The goal is very big. And really the key hole when shooting that pull shot on the Bonzini table is to hit that 2-hole, that split, if you can. Of course, the most effective shot over the years has proven to be this one right here, the front pin shot, the European-style front pin shot on the Bonzini table, and that's what Sebastian Sabater is shooting right here. Setting it up on the far side of the goal, Sabater tried to come with that far man, blocked by Ryan Moore. Ryan can't grab it on the 5, comes back to Sabater on his shooting rod. So far, Moore has been solid defensively, but it's early. And again, Ryan stays home to make the block and take the ball away. Shot attempt to the near side, comes back to Moore. Ryan's going to put his men up. Hope that they stay up. Bank it off the inside wall and quickly move into that forward position. That's smart. Transition is key. Sabater using that left hand, banks it off that back wall beautifully, grabbing it on the 3-row. Again, Sebastian Sabater, he's due for a point, and he finds it. Using that far man on the 3-row to stroke it into the corner of the goal. It's now 1-1 here in game 2 of this opening set. Ryan Moore leading 1-0. He won the game on his table. He's able to pass it along that inner wall. Ryan will bring it across, setting it up in pull shot position. Having a look at that split and finds it. It's 2-1. Ryan Moore playing with great intensity. Sabater's pass attempt. Can't connect on it. Gets it back. And along the wall. Can't hold on to it. Stoppage. Jar called. And Ryan Moore doesn't agree with it. I believe we're going to go ahead and get an official on tape. Let's see. Ryan Moore is going to call, but he doesn't think he did. Ryan Moore stalking around, grabbing his water. He's going to give him the ball, but I don't think Ryan's 100% sure that he actually dropped it off the man, but go ahead and give it to him. Remains 2-1 in favor of Moore here on the Bonzini table. And they're asking referee Boris Atha to come over and keep an eye on things. And I believe we are going to go ahead and get another official. We'll try to get you a score down on the other end of the arena with Adel Yousfi and Tony Spredeman. Tony does lead 1-0. He won the tornado portion. It'd be very difficult for Tony to defeat Adel Yousfi on the Bonzini table. Adel very good, but of course Tony Spredeman is a fighter. All right, Boris Atha returns to the finals area. believe we're going to await another official. Boris is overseeing this match, but as far as individual referees go, I think he needs to call in someone else. Okay, Boris Atha will handle referee duties himself. We resume play. And Ryan Moore did not give up the ball. Ryan Moore kept the ball on his 5-row, can't connect, and Sabater now in possession on the 2-row. It's 2-1 in favor of Ryan Moore. Ryan looking really focused right now. This is one of the great young players in the world, the defending world junior singles champion. Time is running, hits off that back wall, stabs it off the back wall with a 5-row, and then grabs the rebound on his shooting rod. Ryan now with a chance to go up 3-1. Setting it up in pole shot position. Try to go down the middle, nice block by Sabater, comes back to Moore. See what Ryan does here. The key is to take your time. Moore shot attempt, Sabater, a good bit of defense there. Shot down the middle on goal, rebounded nicely by Ryan Moore. Ryan banks it off the inside wall. Sabater, shot attempt with the left hand. Grabbed by Ryan Moore. Action going back and forth right now. Banked off the outside wall on goal. Nice block by Sabater. The ball comes all the way back to Moore. Again, Moore using that front pin. Tried to bank it, then hammers it down the middle. Rebound comes back to him again. Ryan spending a lot of time in that goal area. Choosing to pick up the pace right now. Rattles one down the table, stabs at it with the 3-row. Sabater grabs it with his left hand on the 2. Sebastian now banks it down the middle, and Ryan Moore again in possession. Moore into a tic-tac. Sabater now in possession on his passing rod. It's 2-1 here in game 2. Ryan Moore leading 1-0. He won on his home table, the Tornado. He is leading on Sabater's home table, the Bonzini. Ryan able to squeeze one along that inner wall. They'll bring it across and set it up once again in pole shot position. Moore, shot attempt wide of the goal, right to the 3-rod of Sabater. Sebastian will set it up in front pin position. Sebastian Sabater of France trying to tie it up at 2 here in game 2. And he does. Stroking it to that near side. It's 2-2. Already intensity, already tremendous crowd support for France. This is what the sport of table soccer is all about. It's USA versus France, round 2. No one will ever forget the 2006 event. We may be in for something similar here tonight. Sabater now with an opportunity to surge into the lead as he sets it up in European-style front pin position. On the far side of the goal, Sabater having a look at that straight. He'd use that far man, and he does. It's 3-2. Sabater with 2 straight has surged ahead, 3-2. Ryan Moore does lead 1-0, and Ryan's going to go ahead and use a timeout. Possession of the ball on the passing rod. the center rod, the 5 rod of Ryan Moore. He trails 3-2, leads 1-0 as he puts it into play. Ryan along that wall nicely. Bring it off that inner wall, and again, set it up in pull shot position. Generally, if you sit on the ball long enough, in other words, take 6, 7, 8 seconds, you can find that hole down the middle. Ryan Moore finds that hole down the middle. It's 3-3. Moore fighting on Sebastian Sabater's home table, the Bonzini. Pass along the wall by Sabater. An opportunity here for Sebastian to take the lead. From front pin position, Sebastian Sabater with a fake. He's had success with that straight hole using that far man. But first, he'll step away and call timeout. See Ryan Moore, the intensity. Sebastian Sabater, not as intense looking, but certainly on the table he has been just that as well. Crowd getting involved. The French crowd completely involved. Here we go. Sabater putting the ball back into play. Setting it up on the far side. It'll go blocked and taken away by Moore. Ryan on the 2-rod. Shot on goal. Nice shot. Better blocked by Sabater. Sebastian using the left hand. Shot attempt. He's able to reel it in on the 5. And Sabater sends himself into the lead. It's now 4-3, and of course he must win this game to stay alive and send it to a third game. Ryan Moore going to use the left hand this time on the 2-row. Not a bad idea on this table, and turns it over. So it turned out to be a bad idea, and Sabater now with a chance to send it to game 3. Sebastian Sabater strokes it to the near side. It's 1 game apiece. Back over to Tornado we go for 2 balls. Meanwhile, at the other end of the arena, Tony Sprademan and Adel Yousfi are still playing in game 2 on the Bonzini table. They've had to bring a ref in down there as well. It's a German referee, in case you're wondering. And Adel Yousfi has won the second game as well. So both teams so far winning the games on their home table. Ryan Moore won the first game on Tornado. Tony Sprademan won the first game on Tornado. Sebastian Sabater has just defeated Moore on the Bonzini table to even his matchup, his setup. Adel Yousfi has won the first game on Bonzini in his set. Both sets tied at 1 game apiece as we head to the extra set, the extra game, the third and final game of each opening set. It's Ryan Moore on the right. It's Sebastian Sabater on the left. We are on the Tornado table for 2 balls. Then 2 balls on Bonzini. Then back to Tornado for 2. And so on until someone wins by 2. Although at 4-4, we would go back and forth every other ball. Pass attempt stolen away by Sabater. A chance here for Sebastian to steal one on the Tornado table. Taking a lot of time. Sabater, shot attempt to the far side, blocked by Moore. Ryan eventually reels in the rebound. Ryan setting it up in pole shot position. Shot down the middle, blocked by Sabater, comes back to Moore. Ryan, an aggressive power player, no doubt about that. He's like a tennis player with a big forehand, constantly serving and volleying, pounding the ball. Ryan shot down the middle. Sabater continues to do a good job defensively. Ryan going to take a look perhaps at that short slicing angle. Let's see what he does here. Slices it into the goal. It's 1-0. 1-0 lead for Ryan Moore on the tornado table. There'll be one more ball here before we head back over to Bonzini. Sabater. Pass attempt, can't hold on to it. Ryan Moore fortunate to reel it into the goal area. And Ryan Moore again from goal. It's 2-0, and back over to Bonzini we go as Moore stalks over there. Meanwhile, it's 1-1 in the third game of the other set between Sprademan and Yusfi. So Yusfi was able to steal one on the tornado table. Here we are, back on the Bonzini table in this set. Sebastian Sabater on the left, Ryan Moore on the right. Sebastian Sabater now will have the first scoring opportunity as he sets it up on that far side of the goal. And shot attempt blocked and taken away by Moore. Ryan leading 2-0, so he held on his table. We now move over to Bonzini. The idea here is just to try to steal one whenever you go to the other player's home table. Slicing ever just wide of the goal. Rebounded by Sabater. And Sebastian able to fire it into the goal with a left hand. It's now 2-1 in favor of Moore. Ryan Moore, possession on the 3-roll. Big shot here. Moore. Shot just wide of the goal. Tried to go to that long hole. And again, shooting the pull shot on the Bonzini, and a lesson for you pull shooters out there who do play on the Bonzini table. Take lots of time and look for that split hole. It'll be there at some point. It's just a matter of finding it at the right time, and the hole will be there. The men's feet are not big. The holes are big. Shot just wide of the goal by Sabater, rebounded by Moore. Meanwhile, in the other match, Yusfi had surged ahead of Tony Sprademan 3-1 as they move back to Tornado, so Tony would need to get both of those to remain tied. Here on this table, Ryan Moore turns it over to Sabater. Sebastian now with a chance to tie it up at 2. And he does, stroking it to the near side. Let's head back over to Tornado. And Adel Yusfi has surged ahead of Tony Sprademan 4-1 in the third game. Looks like the Frenchman's going to win in that round 2 open singles set. Meanwhile, here on this table, tied up at 2, Ryan Moore possession of the ball. We are back on the Tornado table. Sprademan has answered. It's now 4-2 in favor of Yusfi as they head back to Bonzini, but it looks like Yusfi could be putting that one away here shortly. Meanwhile, Ryan Moore trying to put this ball away right here, and he does, stroking home that pull shot. It's 3-2. Yep. Sebastian Sabater just trying to steal one here if he can. Sabater's pass attempt is stolen instead by Ryan Moore. Ryan steps into that forward position. Pass it along that inner wall, a chance for Ryan to take a 4-2 lead and then head back over to Bonzini. Moore will set it up in pull shot position. Try to go to the straight hole. The hole was there. Hit off the corner of the goal. Rebound zigzags all the way back down the table where it's grabbed by Ryan Moore in the goal area. Ryan setting it up all the way on that near side in pull shot position. Advances the ball to his 5. Moving into that forward position, Ryan Moore's pass attempt blocked back towards the goal. Ryan keeps it out. He'll move back into offensive position. No, he won't. Beautiful pass by Moore. Ryan setting it up, looking once again for a 4-2 lead. And he gets it. Stroking home that pull shot. It's 4-2. It's set point for Ryan Moore as we head back to Bonzini. And Ryan has proven himself to be an outstanding Bonzini player so far. Look at the fire of Ryan Moore. He is focused. First, he's going to step away and use a timeout. Meanwhile, at the other end of the arena, Adel Yousfi's got a chance to close out his match against, or rather his set against Tony Spredeman. Spredeman staying alive, though. Not over yet. And Tony Spredeman gets on the board. It's now, I believe, 4-3. It is now 4-3 in favor of Adel Yousfi. As we move back now to Ryan Moore and Sebastien Sabater. Sabater, possession on the 5. It is set point for Ryan Moore, but we are on Sebastien Sabater's home table. And a result, Adel Yousfi has defeated Tony Spredeman. So France leads 1-0. You must win 5 to win the match. And we have a stoppage here, a timeout. But the French have scored first. They have broken through with a second round set win as Adel Yousfi defeats Tony Spredeman. Ryan Moore has a set point here in this match, and you see Ryan just stalking around the arena. Crowd loving every moment as Ryan Moore puts the ball into play. And stolen away by Sabater. 4-2 lead for Moore. Hold on to Ryan Moore now. Possession on his 5-row will move into the forward position. Ryan passes it along the wall. A chance for Ryan Moore to tie this match up at 1 set apiece. Moore will bring it across. Setting it up in pole shot position. Fired that one wide of the goal. Again, Ryan trying to hit that long hole. Lost backwards by Sabater. Again, Moore looking for a win. Again, wide of the goal. Sabater with a rebound. Moore still with possession on the 3-row. Another chance, his third, for Ryan Moore to close out Sebastien Sabater. Try to go to the straight hole. Sabater with a block. Shot on goal by Sabater, and there is Sebastien to grab it on his 5. Chipped angle again. Ryan Moore there to make the block, and Sabater looks at referee Boris Atha for some reason, asking for a call, but Boris Atha was right there and made none, and Ryan Moore isn't even sure what Sebastien Sabater is asking. And we're going to continue play. Ryan Moore chips it up towards the goal and into the goal. Ryan Moore has defeated Sebastien Sabater in its opening rounds. We are all tied up at 1 set apiece. All right, here we go. Tom Yore, Paul Nunez about to get underway, and quickly Paul Nunez jumps on the scoreboard on the tornado table. This is Tom Yore's table. Tom out of Tampa, Florida, the United States. Tom, the United States champion in open doubles this year, or this past year, 2008. Also finished second in open singles at the Tech Ball World Championships. A very good multi-table player. Has had some good finishes in France with the Bonzini Worlds. Finds the straight hole here. It's 1-1. First game will be played on Tornado. Second on Bonzini. Now Nunez coming back, chipping it up. 1-1 here in the first game. This is a 4th round set. Mara's still leading Lebec 4-3 in the first game of the 3rd round set in the singles format. Nunez, shot attempt blocked up into the air and off the table by Yore, so Tom will put the ball back into play. Screen. Shot down the middle on goal. Nunez using the left hand, sweeps it into his control. Robert Mares has won the first game of his set. Tornado table, and Lebec and Mares will now move over to Bonzini. Tom Yore setting it up in pole shot position, looking for a 2-1 lead. Shot attempt blocked by Nunez. Quick pass attempt. Can Yore catch it? No, he can't. Rolls to a dead stop. So Nunez will put it back into control, put it back into play in his goal area. Shot down the middle on goal by Nunez, hauled in by Yore. And Nunez fires it into the goal. It's 2-1. Val Nunez has come out to get 2 of the first 3 points on the Tornado table. Tom Yore nicely through the lane, passing it from his passing rod, the 5-rod, to his 3. Shot blocked and taken away by Nunez. Pressure-packed table soccer from the World Cup. Can't even imagine what it must feel like to be down there under this scrutiny, under the lights, under the cameras, with so much at stake. Intense pressure. But again, this is why these guys play the game. And Yore able to convert from his 2-row. It's 2-2. So Yore answers Nunez's shot from goal with 1 of his own. We're even at 2 here in the Tornado game. Raul Nunez will now attempt to take the lead from front pin position. Taps it, then tries to go straight. Tom Yore there waiting for him. Tom setting it up. Full shot position, fires it down the middle on goal, then steals it away quickly with a pull kick into the goal. It's 3-2. Beautiful play by Yore, and he has surged ahead by 1. Back comes Paul Nunez. With a left hook of his own, Paul Nunez of France answers. It's 3-3. Tom Yore, pass attempt, can he hold on to it? No, it squirts back to him in the goal area. Huge point here for both players. Tied up at 3 here in game 1. Pull kick wide of the goal. Nunez with a rebound. Powell, shot attempt, blocked back towards the goal, and Paul Nunez again in possession. I believe Robert Mares has surged ahead of Julien Lebec on the Bonzini table. And Paul Nunez has surged ahead of Tom Yore on the Tornado table. This is big right here, folks. We talked about how important it is to win on your own table. Pass along that near wall. Tom Yore, huge shot right here. Tom does have timeouts. Yore will indeed use a timeout. Paul Nunez taking a walk. Tom Yore taking a drink. The crowd beginning to sing. It's World Cup. There's nothing like it. Tom Yore has possession of the ball on his 3-row. Paul Nunez trying to keep him out of the goal as he puts it into play. Yore for the tie. Tom resets. Resets again. John reset warning. And strokes it home. Tom Yore showing great patience. Great play by Yore. resets were called, and Tom Yore chose to reset, chose to take his time, took more than 20 seconds on that possession legally, and it's 4-4. Four here in the first game. Paul Nunez. Tom Yore choosing not to put a left hand on the goalie, and that has proved difficult on a couple of occasions here. Again, the left hook. Paul Nunez steals one on the table. Paul Nunez has defeated Tom Yore on the tornado table as we head up back over to Bonzini. Tom Yore had already seen that left hook. You gotta have the left hand on the goalie rod if you're Tom Yore. Nevertheless, it's now 1-0 in favor of France's Paul Nunez, and we'll see if Tom Yore can answer on the Bonzini table. You can see Tom walked over there immediately, refocused, ready to play some Bonzini foosball, something that he is quite good at. Tom Yore finding himself down 1-0 after losing on his table. The other end of the arena, Rob Mares continuing to fight and claw against Julien Lebec on the Bonzini table. And we mentioned the fact that Rob Mares has been training on that Bonzini table, and it's paying dividends. And speaking of Bonzini, let's head over to the Bonzini table. Tom Yore, Paul Nunez, and here we go. Second game underway. Tom Yore will put the ball into play. Rushing it up, can't connect. Nunez grabs it with a left hand and fires it into the goal. And the ball stolen away by Nunez. So things have turned around just a little bit, with France finally breaking through with a win on the tornado table. Tom Yore, a big shot here. A chance to tie it up at 1. Mentioned the split hole with the pull shot. Let's see if Tom Yore chooses to exploit that. Taking a lot of time, just setting the ball up, then strokes it home. It's 1-1. That's a big shot for Tom Yore. And for the United States, but Paul Nunez has played great so far, winning that opening game on Tornado, scoring first here on Bonzini. Nunez chipping it up, grabbing it nicely on the 3. Beautiful save by Nunez. Powell will set it up, attempting to take a 2-1 lead. Tried to go to that far side, wide of the goal, using that left hand. He keeps it in his goal area. Showing quick handle-to-handle speed. Yore, though, able to take it away on his 5. Tied up at 1 here in Game 2 on the Bonzini table. It's 1-0 in favor of Paul Nunez. Yore able to go along that wall. Chance here for Tom to take the lead. Yore has had a little difficulty setting it up in the first couple of possessions, but does so here. Tom will take a look. Shot attempt blocked and taken back by Nunez. Powell using the left hand. Back pin. Banks off that back wall. Shot rattles forward. Eventually Yore able to grab it on his passing rod. Robert Mares has just defeated Julien Lebec on the Bonzini table. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States has surged ahead 2-1 as we head back over to Tom Yore and Paul Nunez. So that takes some of the pressure off of Tom Yore. And you can see him take a deep breath right here. He knows now that the United States has gone ahead 2-1. Well, let's see how that affects Tom Yore. So great performance by Robert Mares, winning both games, one on Tornado, one on Bonzini, to give the United States the lead. Yore able to pass it through the lane. Tom Yore sending it up in pull shot position, trying to go to that straight hole, blocked by Nunez. It remains 1-1. Still 1-1. Nunez. Front pin, back pin. Back to the front pin. Put that one wide of the goal. Clears it nicely to his 3-rod.
No, technique.
And Paul Nunez with a question. And perhaps going to clean the ball perhaps change the ball. Tom Yore gives it back to Nunez, and we have a new clean ball. So Nunez has possession on his 3-row. Referee making sure it's put back into play in precisely the same spot. And here we go. Still 1-1. It is 1-0 in favor of Francis Paul Nunez. United States currently on top, 2-1. Nunez, shot attempt, whiffs on it, banks it back off his own wall. Yore had a chance to grab it, shot down the middle, stolen away by Yore. Tom strokes on that pull shot. It's 2-1. 2-1 lead for Tom Yore. Paul Nunez with a chance to tie it at 2 from European-style front pin position. Again, Nunez fans on that effort, gets it back, and strokes it to the near side. It's 2-2. Tom Yore coming back, brushing it through the lane, can't hold on to it. Quick shot attempt. There's Yore to grab the rebound. Tied up at 2 here in game 2. Tom Yore from pull shot position. Tried to stroke that long pull shot. Blocked by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. Tom finds the straight hole. It's 3-2. So after losing the opening game on Tornado, Tom Yore has responded. He leads 3-2 as Nunez puts the ball into play. Paul Nunez chipping it towards the goal off the man of Tom Yore. Nunez able to reel it in on his 3-row, and a chance right here to tie it at 3 here in game 2 on the Bonzini table. Nunez. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by Yore. Tom Yore just trying to stay alive, trying to win this game and send it to a third and final game, which of course will be played on both tables in this exciting multi-table format. Full shot wide of the goal. Both players hustle after it. Shot wide of the goal by Nunez, and eventually Powell there to grab the rebound. Nunez attempting now to tie up. Tom Yore setting it up in pull shot position. Yore takes his time. And we'll call timeout. Very smart play by a very smart player. Tom Yore will put the ball back into play, leading 3-2. And he does. Big shot here. This is one of these situations we talk about all the time. These 3-2 points. If Tom can score here, it'll be 4-2. If he can't, and Nunez does, it's 3-3. That's a big difference. But Tom Yore able to stroke home that rolling pull shot. It's 4-2. So Tom 1 point away from stealing a game on his opponent's table and evening this match up. Or rather, this set. Paul Nunez. Nunez pass rattles through. Quick shot attempt. Again, Nunez doesn't hit the ball. Does grab it on his 3-row. Setting it up on that center man in European-style front pin position. He can go far side. He can go near side. He can go down the middle. He can fake Tom off a hole. Try to go to the far corner. Hit off that corner of the goal. Comes back to Nunez, who fires it to the near side. It's 4-3. Tom Yore leading 4-3, putting the ball into play on his 5-row. Tom tried to go along the wall, blocked by Nunez. Pass down the middle by Yore. Tom does have a timeout remaining. As he brings it across, sets it up with a chance to tie this set up at a game apiece. Nunez won the Tornado game. Tom Yore is up 4-3 on the Bonzini game, but first he'll step away and call timeout. Tom Yore puts the ball back into play with a chance to tie this set up at a game apiece. Clock is running. Yore executes the straight. Tom Yore has tied this set up at 1 game apiece. While Nunez won on Tornado, Tom Yore responds, winning on Bonzini. The United States leads 2-1. All right, we head over the Tornado table for 2 goals here, then 2 goals on Bonzini. Back to the Tornado for 2, and then the Bonzini for 2. Paul Nunez will put the ball into play on his 5-row. Tom Yore got caught off guard in that first game with a couple of 5-row shots. Let's see what Paul Nunez does here. Tom Yore this time with the left hand in the goal area, and he steals the ball away. Quick left hook by Yore, wide of the goal, rebounded by Nunez. You've got to love this multi-table format. It is so compelling, so interesting, and Paul Nunez scores first. The first shot from goal. It's 1-0. So Nunez has come out and stolen one on the Tornado table, but at this point, both these players so even on both tables that it really doesn't matter which table they're playing on. It's just all foosball. It's all table soccer, regardless of table. You're able to pass it through and set it up. Tom looking to tie it at 1, and we would head back over to the other table if Tom scores here, and we do. It's 1-1, and back to Bonzini we go. Here in the the third game. Nunez passed through the lane, and Powell will have the first scoring opportunity of the second 2 balls these played on the Bonzini. Nunez jolts it to the far side. It's 2-1. Tom Yore. See if he has an answer. Beautiful angle up, pass by Yore. Very steep. Opportunity here for Tom to tie it at 2, and then we would head back to Tornado. It is 2-1 in favor of the United States, and Yore uses the ball backwards. And Nunez is going to use a timeout. It's USA versus France, part 2, part 2. Brice Arpon of France leading the cheering for his French compatriots as Nunez puts the ball back into play. He leads 2-1 here in this this third game. This final game, we'll say. He can't connect on the pass. Tom Yore able to grab it in his goal area. Yore. Shot attempt wide of the goal. And here's Nunez with an opportunity to go up 3-1 as we but then head back over to Tornado. Setting it up in snake shot position. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by Yore. Tom. Gonna set it up in pull shot position. Shot wide of the goal, stabbed into the goal by Yore. It's 2-2. Let's head over to Tornado. 2-2 here in the third and final game. France needs this one to tie this match up at 2 sets each. The United States trying to go ahead if they can, 3-1. And again, Nunez used that left hook, that 5-row shot, but Tom Yore was there to make the block and take the ball away. 2-2. Yore back and forth. Tom banks it off the outside wall into the goal. It's 3-2. Jim Stevens, Ezekiel Iceman Moore, Mark Winker, and Amy Eckhart, the Inside Foos crew, having a blast finally here in France. Nunez through the lane. He's got a chance to tie it at 3. Powell's going to set it up this time in pull shot position. Nunez shot attempt blocked and taken away by Yore, who has possession on the 5. Tom with an opportunity to advance the ball and potentially go up 4-2. He does pass it through. He does set it up. Not a bad time for a timeout. Tom Yore. They'll come around and call timeout. Tom Yore will touch 2 men, putting the ball back into play. From pull shot position, Tom Yore for the lead. Yore trying to go to that straight hole, knocked down by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. Tom once again. Around with a fake. Resets. Tried to stroke that long. Nunez with a block, and eventually Paul grabs the rebound in the goal area. It's 3-2 here in the third and final game of this 4th round set in the singles format. Shot down the middle on goal. Nunez with a rebound. Powell setting it up in pull shot position, trying to tie it up at 3. Yore had a chance to make it 4-2. Nunez shot attempt taken right back by Yore. Tom has had several scores from the goalie position, and he gets another one. Tried to slice it to that short side. It banked off the side wall into the goal. It's now 4-2 in favor of Yore. It is set point for Yore.
Get ready to dig, buddy.
Back to Bonzini, trailing 4-2. Paul Nunez puts the ball into play. Chips it up, stolen away by Yore. Yore stabs at it. Nunez on goal. Yore with the rebound using the left hand. Now we'll move back into offensive position. Remember, it is set point for Tom Yore. Tom from pull shot position. Resets. Shot down the middle on goal. Nunez with a rebound. Nunez to the other end of the table. Yore with a block and the retrieval. Exciting World Cup action in the quarterfinals from Nantes, France. I'm Jim Stevens along with Ezekiel Iceman Moore, Mark Winker, and Amy Eckhart. And beautiful pickup by Yore. Tom with a chance to win this set and give the United States a 3-1 lead. Tom Yore. Shot attempt blocked by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. Again, Tom. Fires that one down the middle. Nunez with a block. Big defensive series from France's Paul Nunez. And Nunez gets on the scoreboard. It's now 4-3. I believe we have our 2 finalists in the Women's World Cup. It looks like it's going to be France versus Germany, as it appears Germany has just defeated Austria. Meanwhile, back here, Paul Nunez trailing 4-3, but does have possession of the ball. Tom Yore's had a couple of shots to win this set. And Nunez now has a chance to tie it up at 4 and send it into that 1 ball at a time format with no margin for error for either player. Paul Nunez. Chokes it to the near side. Huge turnaround for Paul Nunez. Tom Yore was up for two. Had two opportunities. Could not put it in the hole thanks to the good defense of Nunez. And we head back over to the tornado table, tied up at 4. It'll be 1 ball here, 1 ball on Bonzini. Back wins by 2. Right now we're on Yore's home table, the tornado. Tom passing along that wall. He'll have the first opportunity to go ahead 5-4. The pressure is immense. Yore strokes that one wide of the goal. It zigzags around the table where it's grabbed by Nunez. Paul Nunez, shot attempt, able to advance it, grabbing it on his 5-row, now stepping into the forward position. Left hook, wide of the goal, comes back towards his goal. And there's Nunez to retrieve it. Powell, shot attempt blocked by Yore. And again, Powell in possession of the ball. Shot down the middle. That's 3 straight for Paul Nunez. He leads 5-4. All right, let's see how Tom Yore responds. Just when it looked like the United States was going to surge ahead, 3-1, Paul Nunez has come back, and we have a jar called. Jar is called. Ball is awarded to Tom Yore on the 3-row. Tom will set it up in pull shot position, looking to tie this game up at 5, and then we would head back to tornado. Yore. Stokes into that straight hole. It's 5-5. Huge shot for Tom Yore and the Americans. Paul Nunez will put it into play on the tornado table. Nunez looking for a 6-5 lead. And to the far side. So the players exchanging goals on each other's tables. Let's head back to the Bonzini.
Two time, 1 time for me. 1 time or 2 time?
Pressure now on Tom Yore.
It's okay. Take 1 time.
Yore will put it into play.
Sorry.
Tom looking to advance at 5-3, and he does. Yore trailing 6-5. That one wide of the goal. Bounces off that outside wall. Yore grabs it on his 5-row. Tom through the lane. Tom sets it up. Again, looking to tie it at 6. Shot attempt blocked by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. And he strokes it to that near side. It's 6-6, so each player continuing to score on the opponent's table. How dramatic is this? Six. Tom Yore steals it away. At some point, you would think that each of these players, or one of these players, would assert themselves on their own table. Shot just wide of Yore using the left hand, kept it out. Rebound. 6-6 here in the third and final. 2-1. Pull kick Everett blocked by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. Tom shot attempt. Nunez able to take it. has an opportunity to surge ahead on the tornado table, and Tom Yore's not been able to lock the front pin the last few occasions. Nunez walking it around. Fans on that effort. Still in control of the ball. Shot attempt taken away by Yore. Tom in the left hand. Pass to the near wall. Stolen away by Nunez. That's dangerous. Nunez with another chance to take the lead. And he does. While Nunez finds that hole down the middle on the tornado table. That's 3 straight. He has gotten on the tornado table. Tom Yore's got the last 2 on the Bonzini. Let's see if this trend continues as we head back over to the French table. Crowd continuing to grow as other matches come to an end around this beautiful arena, and Tom Yore again able to get the ball. He has literally dominated on the Bonzini the last couple of balls. Let's see what he does here. Setting it up, looking to tie it at 7. Yore finds that straight hole. It's 7-7. Back to tornado we go. Paul Nunez home table. Tornado table by Paul Nunez, and we head back over to the Bonzini table now with set point for Yore. We have a timeout. It's Tom Yore with possession of the ball on the 5-row. Set point for Tom Yore as he puts it into play on the 5. Quickly along the wall, once, twice, both of them blocked by Nunez. Comes back to Yore. United States leading 2-1. That one wide of the goal, step towards the goal, and eventually grabbed on the shooting rod by Tom Yore. Another chance for Tom to give the United States a 3-1 lead. We would then head to the doubles format. Yore from pole shot position. Executes that straight block into the air and off the table. Nunez again in possession. Able to advance it. Shot on goal by Nunez, blocked by Yore. Crowd into every little play. It's deja vu all over again, folks. And if the United States gets this point here, they'll go up 3-1. Just the opposite of what happened in Hamburg a few years ago, and Tom Yore able to grab it on his 5-row. Yore brings it to the near side. Bounces off the wall, tried to go through that lane, blocked away by Nunez and grabbed by Paul Nunez. An opportunity here to tie it up at 8 for France's Paul Nunez. Shooting against Tom Yore from front pin position, Paul Nunez. Jokes it down the middle. It's 8-8. Yore puts the ball into play. He's on the right. Paul Nunez on the left. Tied up at 8. Tom Yore can't hold on to it. It comes all the way back to Tom in the goal area. Using the left hand. Yore. Stab back into the goal by Paul Nunez. A mistake by Tom Yore as he turns it over to the 3-rod of Nunez, who immediately converts. Tom Yore knows it. And it's set point for Nunez. Tom Yore, who has been great on the Bunzini. Will that continue? Let's see. Rush pass, knocked down, comes back to him. Quick pass attempt, stolen away by Nunez. Paul now, possession on the 5-row. Tom Yore on the defensive, using his right hand. Left hand on the goalie rods. Nunez can't hold on to it, knocked back towards the goal by Yore, and Tom reels it in. You're fortunate to clear the zone. Tom moves into the forward position, looking to advance it, 5-rod to 3-rod. And he does with a beautiful brush-up pass. Yore for a 9-9 tie. Tom tried to stroke that long, blocked away. The ball rolls around back to him, but he then turns it over to the 5 of Nunez, who thanks the foosball gods by looking up, then quickly steps back to the table, passes it through, sets it up, calls timeout with a chance to tie this match up at 2 sets apiece. Paul Nunez puts the ball back into play, looking to tie this match up at 2 sets apiece. Nunez strokes it to the near side. Paul Nunez fights, stubbornly holding off Tom Yore, who had fought back from a first game deficit of his own. We are all tied up at 2 sets apiece at the singles portion of this exciting World Cup quarterfinal. Doubles. It'll be Sprademan and Zamora versus Dos Santos and Nunez. It'll be Moore and Mares versus Yusfi and Sabater, and we'll have that for you in just a little while.
Ici, c'est notre chance. Regarde, j'ai pris ma chance, j'ai gagné. J'ai rien fait. J'ai fait de la merde. Pourquoi nous, on n'arriverait pas à faire la merde encore? Si moi, je l'avais fait. Parce que moi, ça m'a amusé à faire un... Je fais ce que je peux. Je vais tenter autre chose. Match. Here we go.
And here we go. It'll be Spratum and Zamora on the right, Nunez and Dos Santos on the left. As we open up doubles, the second half of this exciting quarterfinal here at the World Cup. And the ball turned over by Nunez to Spratum. Tony Spratum, who finished second at this week's World Championships in the men's singles event, losing to Yannick Correa of Luxembourg in the final. Also finished third in the doubles event with Tom Yore. Of course, Tony is the reigning Tornado World Singles Champion. And I think there's a good chance we will see Adrian Zamora in the forward position when they move to Bonzini. We'll see, though. Tony Spratum again. Now looking to get on the scoreboard first here in this first game, shooting against Yore dos Santos. Tony to the far side, Yore with a block. Yore dos Santos have not had an opportunity to see him perform on the Tornado table. Assuming that he's pretty good, and he shows you right there that he can score the ball, banking it off that outside wall. So he makes a couple of blocks against Spratum and then scores the ball, banking it off that far wall. It's 1-0 in favor of the French. Spratum, that famous tic-tac. Passing it through the lane, setting it up, looking to tie it up at 1. Tony will walk it aground, reset. And shot attempt blocked and taken away by Dos Santos. Spratum now 0 for 3, shooting the ball, opening things up. This is Tony Spratum's first World Cup experience. We have a stoppage in play. And I think we're going to just continue play. Spratum lost his singles match a little earlier on to Adel Yousfi. This is Adrian Zamora's first match. Of course, Adrian was a member of that 2006 United States World Cup team. He remembers the French match. In fact, Adrian lost in singles in 2006 and would love to redeem himself here. 1-0 lead for the French. That's Raul Nunez and Yore dos Santos. Nunez loves to use that left hook. Used it efficiently against Tom Yore earlier. Tony Spratum loves to use that wall pass, and nobody does it better than Tony. Spratum now setting it up in front pin position. He's 0 for 3 shooting the ball so far. Make it 0 for 4 as Dos Santos continuing. They'll play great defense. Yore dos Santos putting the ball into play. Shot attempt blocked back into the goal by Spratum. So Tony hasn't scored offensively, but he gets the big defensive block here. It's 1-1. The French scored first. The Americans answer. Nunez can't connect. Here's Adrian Zamora. Adrian, throughout his career, a singles, rather a forward, and he won his world championship on Tornado playing the forward position, but playing goalie here. Of course, when you're playing with perhaps the best Tornado player in the world in Tony Spratum, and that's going to be the case. But as I mentioned, when they go back to Bonzini, I think there's a good chance that Adrian Zamora may start off in that forward position. He does have some Bonzini experience. Shot attempt by Adrian Zamora, rattles towards the goal, and it's rebounded once again by Zamora. Pass beautifully along that outside wall. It's 2-1 now in favor of the Americans. Spratum and Zamora have scored the last two to surge ahead. Two-1 lead for the Americans. Adrian Zamora, possession of the ball. Adrian choosing to slow the tempo down. Good idea. Really taking his time. Tries to clear it. It's blocked back into the goal by the fiber of Nunez. Adrian really didn't execute the shot the way he wanted to. It's now 2-2. As Sprademan now looks to take the lead at 3-2 if he can. Dancing across the mouth of the goal, working the goal. And stroking it home to the near side. Tony with speed and power to the corner. The Americans have once again taken the lead at 3-2. It's the first game. It's the fifth round, the first round of doubles. Pass along that outside wall by Sprademan. Tony now looks for a 4-2 lead. Hervé Dos Santos started off blocking very well, but Tony Sprademan starting to find a groove offensively, although Dos Santos there again with a block. Beautiful grab on the 3-row by Sprademan, who once again sets it up and fires it home. Faking to that near side, firing it down the middle. It's now 4-2, so the Americans have come back with 4 of the previous 5 points to surge back ahead and take control here in game number 1. Sprademan with opportunity here to advance it and possibly put away this first game. He does do the first half of that statement as he passes it 5-3. Sets it up, strokes it home. It's 1-0. Meanwhile, they're in the second game of the Adel Yousfi, Sebastian Sabater, Ryan Moore, Robert Mares match, with Mares and Moore leading 1-0. They're on the Bonzini table, and watching Ryan Moore and Robert Mares play on the Bonzini table a little earlier, they are a formidable duo on that table. All right, we now move over to the Bonzini table with the Americans leading 1-0, and indeed, Adrian Zamora will start in the forward position. Tony Sprademan at goal. And here we go. Hervé Dos Santos playing the forward position, and Hervé, a very, very good Bonzini forward. Hervé, one of the legendary Bonzini forwards. His son, Miguel Dos Santos, perhaps the best young Bonzini player in the world. And you're going to see some skill now, folks, on the Bonzini table. Hervé Dos Santos, really good. Tony Sprademan now moving back to forward in this offensive situation. So interesting strategy. And Tony now will shoot the snake. Sprademan fires to the near side. Not a bad shot. Blocked away and grabbed by Tony. He'll use the near side passing series. Goes hard along that inner wall. Looking pretty comfortable on the Bonzini. Sprademan again. Snake shot. Whips on that one, comes back with a push shot. We know Tony can shoot the push as well. 1-0 in favor of the French here in game 2. The one thing you've noticed during the course of this match that is so different is that the games are all very close and the Americans get on the scoreboard. It's now 1-1. In the early rounds of this event, in the qualification rounds, you'd see matches where they were rather one-sided. One team would win big on their table, the other side would win big on their opponents or on their own table. But right now, it seems like every game on either table very close.
I'll put the ball down for him.
Non, mais il dit qu'il faut que tu prennes ta balle et qu'il ne touche pas sa balle avec ça. Bien.
The ball is going better.
See it? Nice block. Good shot. Flash.
1-1 has Hervé Dos Santos. Will put the ball into play, and he does. Pass attempt, knocked down and taken away by Sprademan. And Dos Santos, look out here. Hervé. Shot attempt wide of the goal. Tony Sprayman able to grab it on his 3-row. Tony setting it up. Snake shot position. Sprayman walks it around, tried to come back down the middle of the block, but there's Tony to grab the rebound and loses the ball to Paul Nunez. Nunez angles it into the goal beautifully. That is a traditional Bonzini shot where they kind of take it out just a bit to the far side and angle it back towards the mouth of the goal. Nunez executes it beautifully. It's now 2-1. And Sprayman continuing to get the ball, getting opportunities, and again, looking very comfortable. Hasn't yet really uncorked a solid shot from the 3-row until now. It's 2-2. Americans leading 1-0. They're still in the second game in that Mahrez Sabater Yuspi match. And here's Hervé Dos Santos. And ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Moore and Robert Mahrez have just defeated Sebastian Sabater and Adel Yusfi. The Americans now lead 3-2. Robert Mahrez has yet to lose a game. He is 4-0. He's won all of his Tornado games. He's won all of his Bonzini games. Of course, playing with Ryan Moore, who's been solid as well. And the Americans have surged ahead.
Seconds.
Ball put back into play by Adrian Zamora. Tied up at 2 here in game 2. Beautiful pass by Zamora onto the 3-row of Sprayman. Tony will set it up in snake shot position. And fire it to the near side. Sprayman has given his team a 3-2 lead. And Hervé Dos Santos unable to connect on that pass. Hervé not looking real comfortable on the 5-row. Zamora again getting the ball into the hands of Sprayman. Tony for a 4-2 lead. And again, the ball squirts away from him. Paul Nunez fires it down the middle into the goal. So Paul Nunez has provided 2 of the 3 points during this game from the goalie position. And we're even up at 3, so a big turnover from Sprayman turns into a big goal for the French.
Yeah!
And that one rattles into the goal for the Americans. It's 4-3. It is set point. And the Americans just 1 goal away from taking a 4-2 lead. We have a timeout.
Timeout. 1-1.
Hervé Dos Santos puts the ball back into play, quickly converts. It's 4-4. So the French trying to extend this set if they can. Tony Sprayman's pass attempt blocked away, rattles towards the goal where it's grabbed by the goalie, who is now Hervé Dos Santos, but a jar called by the German referee. And the ball has been awarded to the 3-row of Tony Sprayman.
Touch, ball, and 5. No touch, and 5.
Referee made the call. Paul Nunez is arguing and saying there may have been a jar there, but let's give it to him on the 5-row. Tony Sprayman says, we're just going to accept whatever the referee tells us. Boris Apple, Tom Yore speaking with the referee.
says he didn't touch the ball
No touch.
on the three-man's rod.
No touch ball and fly.
But the ball was.
Al Nunez comes over to argue his
In your
case.
opinion, you have to ask yourself: did the jar prevent him from catching the ball? Did it?
Me?
No touch.
In your opinion, did the jar affect his ability to catch the ball?
No touch ball and fly.
Come on, Tom. Can't let him influence your decision.
No decision before. No.
Okay.
Okay. Ok. Normalement, elle va là. Il touche pas, elle va là. S'il touche, elle va là.
Ouais, mais si l'arbitre il est devant, il est devant. C'est pas tout. Ouais, mais moi je vais dire quoi?
Okay, the decision has been made. The ball has been awarded to the 5-row of Tony Spredeman. It remains 4-4 here in the second game. It is set point for the Americans, and Spredeman passes it through. Tony Spredeman looking to give the Americans a 4-2 lead. And he does! Stroke it into the far side! Tony Spredeman, Adrian Zamora defeat Hervé Dos Santos and Paul Nunez, and the Americans win the first two double sets. They lead 4-2.
Way to fight, Tiger. Way to fight. Tony.
Prêt.
Scoring opportunity of the second game, this one being played on the tornado table. Dave will set it up in pull shot position. And stroke home that long pull shot. It's 1-0. Julian, tornado experience, to compete at this year's 20 World Championship. That's his pass stolen away by Gummison. But they're going up. The French are going up against currently the best tornado team in the world. Pass attempt knocked down, rattles back towards the goal, and then is retrieved off that back wall by Gummison. Dave looks for a 2-0 lead. Gummison trying to go to the straight hole. It's like Ramon might have got a piece of that ball, and the rebound caroms down the table to Tracy McMillan. And Tracy, as we know, can be deadly shooting the ball from goal. It's now 2-0 in favor of the Americans. Lebeck's pass attempt blocked by Gummison. Comes back to Julien. Julien Lebec, the world mixed doubles champion on the Bondini table. Along with Annalise Serenito, and this one blocked away and stolen away by Jules Ramon. Gummison again in possession. Dave Gummison for a 3-0 lead as he sets it up in pull shot position once again. Tried to go to that straight hole, blocked by Ramon and taken away. Well, Jules Ramon doing a pretty good job defensively back there against the great Dave Gummison. Passed into the near side. Here's Tracy McMillan. McMillan passing along that outside wall nicely to the 3-row of Dave Gummison. Gummison strokes that pull shot. It's 3-0. So as expected, Dave Gummison and Tracy McMillan have dominated play so far on the tornado table. after losing 5-3 on the Bonzini table to open this set up. And remember, the United States wins this one, this 2 out of 3 set against France. They would advance to the semifinals. Of course, anything can happen when you go to that third and final game. Gummonson shot attempt again. The switch and the block by Ramon to the 3-rod of Lebec. Julien, I believe it's his first scoring opportunity on the Tornado table here in game 2. Lebec against McMillan. Tracy with a block. Tracy's off that corner with that pull shot attempt up into the air and off the table. It remains 3-0. Ball put back into play by Jules Ramon. Shot attempt blocked, comes back to him. And all the Americans here in game 2. Again, this one blocked. Grabbed off that back wall by Gummonson. Dave from pull shot position. Tried to go down the middle, blocked, rattles into the goal against Ramon. It's now 4-0. Looks as though we will be shortly heading to a third and final game. Of course, there are time limits on the table. Saw a quick shot of the referee. 15 seconds in the goal area. 10 seconds on the 5-row, 15 in the forward area. $4-0 lead for the Americans. Jules Ramon. Dave Gummonson along the wall, and an opportunity here for Dave to tie this setup at a game apiece. Gummonson shooting against Ramon. Strokes it down the middle. So the French win the opening game on Bonzini. The Americans respond with a victory on Tornado. We now head back over to the Bonzini table for 2 balls, and back to Tornado for 2, and so on until a team wins by 2. And if that team happens to be the Americans, they will advance to the semifinals.
How the hell's the ball? It's another ball.
And here we go. First scoring opportunity will go to Jules Ramon. He's been great so far on the Bonzini table. Setting it up on that far side. Again, looking at it like a pull shot. Although he turns it over here to McMillan. Quick clearing effort, stolen right back by Ramon. The French must win this game. It's as simple as that. If they don't, they go home. If the Americans win it, they advance to the semifinals, and McMillan makes the block, but it rattles into the goal. So a tough series there for Tracy. McMillan turned it over and had to bank off a man into the goal. But not much gets to the great McMillan. Ball pass attempt by Gummonson. Well, the French are just looking to get both of these points on the Bonzini table if they can. position. Try to go hold blocked and taken away by Julien Lebec. Julien from front pin position has his shot blocked away by Gummison. Comes back to Lebec. Julien shot wide of the goal, rebounded by McMillan. And fight the one down the table. Got to give perhaps a slight advantage right now to the Americans, who perhaps are just a little bit better on the Bonzini, at least this team. And the French are on the tornado table. But we will see how it all plays out. That's why you play the games. Nice pass through the lane by Ramon, has got a chance here to give his team an early 2-0 lead, and he does. Just what the French needed to do, get the 2 points on Bonzini. Now we head back over to Tornado. It's up to the Americans to get the 2. If the French can steal one, that would certainly bode well for their chances. They would return to the Bonzini table with a chance to close out this set. Send it to an 8th set, a 4th set in doubles. Dave Gummison through the lane. Gummy will set it up. Have a look at the defense put forth by Jules Ramon. Try to go to that straight hole, blocked by Ramon. Comes back to Gummison on the 5. Hesitation wall pass, the signature Gummison pass. And he finds the straight hole. Gummison has given the USA their first point on Tornado. Chip up, angle pass, grabbed by Lebec. Big possession here for the French. Julien shooting against Tracy McMillan. Trying to come to that near side. McMillan takes it back. Tracy looking to clear the zone. Maybe look for Tracy to bomb here, but it's stolen right back by Julien Lebec. Lebec, huge possession once again. And he finds that hole between the defense of McMillan. It's 3-1. That is big. Lead for the French. That one back on goal off the corner of the goal, rebounded by McMillan. French scored the first 2 on Bonzini and stole one of the 2 on the Tornado table, and the Americans finding themselves down now 3-1. Yeah! Shot by McMillan into the goal, so Tracy redeems himself. With a big shot from goal, it's now 3-2. That assures the Americans of heading back over to the Tornado table. McMillan again. Shot attempt blocked by Ramon. Comes back to Tracy. McMillan slices one down the table, stabbed by Ramon back wide of the goal, off that back wall, and Tracy McMillan again in possession of the ball. And he's going to use a timeout. Tracy McMillan will put the ball back into play after the timeout. He'll touch 2 men, and the ball is now live. McMillan, who scored the 1 point in this game so far for the Americans, slices that one on goal. Rebounded by Lebec, who loses the ball right to the 3-rod of Gummison, who's got an opportunity here to tie it up at 3, and he does. The Americans get both of the points on Bonzini, and they've got a chance to close out the match right here. And they're on their home table, the Tornado. If the Americans get both of them, they win the match. They advance to the semifinals. Julien Lebec in that forward position now on the Tornado table, puts the ball into play. Chips it up, and it rattles through to the 3-rod. Huge shot here for Lebec. Shooting against McMillan. Julien. Strokes it to the far side. And that guarantees the French that we're returning to the Bonzini table. Lebec to goal. Ramon to forward. Gummison puts the ball into play. Huge play by Lebec. Gummison now with a chance to tie it at 4. We would go to the 1 ball at a time format after this, if he can score against Julien Lebec. Gummison does. Executing to that straight hole. It's 4-4. Let's head back over to Bonzini for 1 ball. Jules Ramon back in the forward position, able to pass it 5-3. So Ramon with a chance to give his team the advantage as he sets it up on that far side of the goal in front pin position. Taking his time, Ramon brings that far man across to that straight hole. Let's head back over to Tornado with the French now up by 1 at 5-4. And the ball stolen away by Lebec. It is set point for the French. That one angles towards the goal where it's grabbed by McMillan. At some point, one of the teams must score on the opponent's table. You have to win by 2, and we're going to go back and forth. 1 ball at a time, and we're going to head back to Bonzini now as Tracy McMillan able to put it in the hole. It's 5-5. Who will blink first? 5-5 here in the 3rd game. The Americans win this set, they advance. The French, we head to 1 more set after this. And that would be Yore and Mekis versus Yore and Robertson. Here's Jules Ramon. Shot attempt blocked by McMillan, and Tracy there to grab the rebound. Tracy McMillan. And Gummison able to pick it up on the 3-roll. Dave will bring it across, setting it up in pull shot position. Gummison scores here. We head back to Tornado with a chance for the Americans to win the set. But first, Gummison's going to step away and call timeout. United States of America looking to redeem themselves for 2006 when they lost the classic match against the French. Dave Gummison has an opportunity here to put them 1 step closer to doing just that as he sets it up in pull shot position, shooting against Jules Ramon. Gummison Shot attempt, doesn't execute the shot. Rebounded by Ramon. Jules setting it up on that far side in front pin position. Shot attempt wide of the goal, up into the air and off the table. Tracy McMillan will put it back into play. McMillan, who has scored earlier in this set, in this game even, and a nice pickup on the three by Gummison after the shot on goal by his partner Tracy McMillan. Another chance for Gummison to give his team a 6-5 lead. Gummison strokes the long. It is set point for the Americans. They can close out the match right here. All the pressure on Julien Lebec. Lebec's pass attempt stolen away by Gummison. Gummison through the lane, can't hold on to it. It squirts back to Lebec, but Gummison steals it back. Dave Gummison to send the Americans to the semifinal and gain a small measure of revenge against the French, who defeated them 3 years ago. And he does! Dave Gummison, Tracy McMillan defeat Julien Lebec, Jules Ramon, and the Americans defeat the French. They advance to the semifinals in a showdown with defending World Cup champion Austria. That will be tomorrow. That will be exciting as the 2009 ITSF Table Soccer World Championship continues. The USA is still alive.
Get your boys over here. Nice. Let's get them all over here.
Hey, let's get it up.